Yo, what's good? Today I want to look two more cars versus VRC and RSS. VRC's Formula Alpha and RSS's Formula Hybrid 2023. Let's first look at the base differences. Firstly, the Formula Hybrid just comes with one version, just the basic, amazing. And the VRC has just the normal, the easy to drive, the one that everybody talks about, CSP, aka the really freaking cool one that everybody knows about. But other than that, that's really the differences. We've loaded into Suzuka. We're in the Formula Hybrid 23 by RSS. Looks beautiful, but let's first look up the setup page. You can change gears. Let's put our tires to the ultra soft. Fuel can change, electronics, aero. You can actually change the nose. I don't know if you can see over here. You can change the nose and the wing in the back, but let's keep that default 0. Brakes, drive train, suspension, steer assist, I don't even know what that is. You can turn on and off the halo. Halo style adds these fins. Antenna style changes the antenna at the front, and the windscreen on the front, it changes this. Let me just show off the antenna once more. Let's check out the model. This model actually looks pretty good. No complaints. The GSI wheel to the Red Bulls looks very nice. Coming down to this lap, I've just switched our VRS to the high mode. This is the default everything. Default setup. Just remove the halo and change the tires to the C5. So let's get it cooking. VRS on. Turn it off right here. Being very careful not to lose the rear end when we shift. Coming through the S's. Stays very planted. Not doing any funny stuff over the curves. As we go wide, it's all good. Doesn't affect anything. This thing has tons of grip. Super fun to drive. Feels just super planted through the corners. Engine noise is really good. Yeah, this car is very planted. It doesn't do any funny stuff. Throttle is very solid as well. Get on the power. Feel a lot more confidently. Turns in very sharply. VRS on, not a great lap, but it's okay. We have made it into the VRC Formula Alpha 23. Let's check it out. First of all, this car looks freaking beautiful, but let's check out the setup tab. Gears, tires, can change as you can see. The difference though is this has wet tires actually. It's pretty freaking sick. It's got the inters, but let's set that to the C5. Fuel 50. This uses deployment strat, not like the balance. Aero, you can change the aero kit here. It also changes the front wing. Let's use the medium. And you can also change the nose. I'll wait for that. You can change the gurney flaps up here. Dummy position. It's pretty freaking sick. As you can see, it changes. Rear wing gurney. Pretty sick. Some great customization on this. Let's look around. I want to change this back to the 0 though. Deployment, diff, just the random. Power unit, engine braking. Stuff I don't even know what it is. Some suspension, visuals. Now something really cool I think about this car is that you can actually change the steering wheel, how the steering wheel shifts, the steps, launch target, change the halo, and change the display on your wheel. I've changed up our view so we can just see the wheel a bit better. This is the 0 wheel. 1 is the Renault, 2 is the Ferrari, and 3 is the Williams. With this just being the shift lights, RPM shift target, you can change it to what you want. Halo, can turn that on or off. And then the visual display just changes how it is. This default's perfectly fine. But let's turn this back and let's get our thing going. Now let's look at the chassis of this thing. It looks really freaking good. Same thing with the RSS. Cockpit looks great, wheel looks great. What's something really sick about this mod is that you actually have to start it yourself. So you can bind your ignition and starter button. You just press your ignition, hold your starter, and it's on, and it's alive. This car comes with a mod, actually, an app called Extended Controls, where you can change all the fancy things about this car. Insane. You have to bind all your buttons. I don't have enough time. I'm way too lazy to do all this. However, if you want to read the 22-page manual, I believe, and learn what all this stuff does, you're completely welcome to. You can also see we have this launch lights, which the RSS doesn't have, and when we have a pit limiter, it does that. This car also has anti-stall. When you get our revs low, the car will put into anti-stall. You have to actually put your clutch in and not let it stall, which is so sick. I've never seen that in a mod before. Now that we're here, I put the energy into Strat 6. Let's get our lap started. VRC off. Lost it there. It's all good. Now I think that's a great example of the differences between the RSS and the VRC. The RSS seems to have less grip, so you can carry less speed through corners when turning in. However, despite having less grip, it's much more planted. You always have to make that car spin out or lose control. Just with the VRC, even though it can turn in much better, when you get on the throttle or when you hit the curb run, you can actually spin it out, unlike the RSS, which is kind of almost glued to the ground. See, this wheel is much cooler. I'm going to be playing you guys these replays to just let you guys hear the sound. The first one is going to be the RSS, and the second is the VRC. Now this might be the question you guys have all been waiting for. Which one to buy? And I'll tell you straight forth. I would buy the VRC. You can click off now, but I would recommend you listening to my reasonings. VRC, I feel, is better worth for the money you're paying. You get much more chassis customization, super sick just features such as the anti-stall and all the different tweaks you can make with the car and the extended controls module that just really add to the immersiveness. I feel also the handling is just that bit better than the RSS. I think the RSS's handling is great, but the VRC just has that edge where, yes, it is harder to drive. When you make a mistake, you will be punished. But when you get into that flow state, it is 10 times more rewarding. I also think I preferred the engine sounds of the VRC. Obviously, it is personal preference, but just the VRC sounds amazing, honestly. Now, if you could buy both, I would. Both cars are different, and I think they're both fun in their own way. But if you had to buy one, just go with the VRC. Save some money. But other than that, have a good one, and say something. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if you think I'm retarded. I'm open to hearing your thoughts.